Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the F5 Weekend Refresh. We've got some really interesting stories today and some cool updates to talk about. Please make sure to hit that like button if you're enjoying the video and subscribe to us for more weekly gaming videos. With all that being said, let's dive right in here. We're starting things off today with some of the reported dangers of VR headsets. Now, experts have been saying that VR could give users some very serious issues in the future. The risk of myopia, or nearsightedness, could be significantly increased, as well as the risk of it occurring more rapidly. By wearing a VR headset, your eyes are focused in on two screens that are very close to your face. Though the screens are close, an object in the game may appear to be far away. This creates issues with the eyes being able to grab focus of near and distant objects once the headset is off. While you might not notice these changes right away, over a long period of time the VR could have some lasting damages. Many people have also reported VR sickness, and it's warned before playing on your new VR headset for the first time, you need to take things slow. You shouldn't play more than a few minutes or you'll begin to get motion sickness. People have gotten sick from prolonged use of the headsets and have reported desires to never use it again. While this motion sickness is a temporary condition, eye damage is extremely serious. On top of myopia, players may also suffer from a serious case of dry eye. As you play on your headset, you may be engaged in several stressful situations. This may cause users to blink less often in order to take in everything around them. The lack of lubrication on the eye, as well as the intensity of the close screen, will cause the eyes to dry out over time. People who suffer from this condition describe it as a feeling of getting stabbed in the eyes. VR headsets are very cool in my opinion, and I think they can be extremely immersive, but if people plan on using them, they must take the precautionary steps to ensure their safety. Keep your eyes safe, keep your stomach free from sickness, and make sure you don't overexpose yourself to those tiny screens. So, some sad news for those who are looking forward to crossplay for Tekken 7 on the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Basically, it won't be happening. Unlike Rocket League or Final Fantasy XIV, Tekken 7 will not be following the way of cross-platform due to potential security issues, according to project lead Katsuhiro Harada. Harada stated, "It's not a matter of the technology for getting the PS4, Xbox One, and PC players to match up against each other being the issue, but rather first-party company policies and potential security risks alongside the community-perceived reputation of PC gamers being cheaters that is hindering the decision to allow cross-platform play." In other words, while it's technically possible to set up cross-play between all three systems, first-party company policies and security risks would hinder the move. Oh, and the fighting community perceives PC gamers as cheaters, which is a fact I have not even remotely considered. Then again, a lot of hacks and cheats have infested PC games such as Counter-Strike, Arma, DayZ, and others. Unlike Tekken, a few days ago Mojang and Microsoft announced that Minecraft Realms, the server renting side of Minecraft, will be allowing for cross-platform play between PS4, Xbox One, and mobile users. In order to access this, you must be paying for a server. Once you own that server, you can invite your friends, family, or even strangers from any device. Before the announcement today, Minecraft Realms was cross-platform on Xbox One, Android, iOS, and PC. Now, with the addition of Sony's PS4, the game can be played just about anywhere in the world on anything that can connect to Wi-Fi. Minecraft has been an extremely popular game for a very long time. So popular, in fact, that they now have a series of books being published. Now, I've never read any of them, but I have seen them around bookstores and thought, wow, I can't even imagine how these things have a plot. I don't plan on picking up any of these books to find out anytime soon, but the latest Minecraft book, which is an official novel by Mojang, might warrant some attention. Max Brooks, the writer of acclaimed novels World War Z and The Zombie Survival Guide, was actually the one that wrote this. The book, called Minecraft the Island, is described as a Robinson Crusoe-style adventure full of weirdness, where someone gets stranded on an island and must survive in order to not die, as is typically the case. Next up, we're taking a look at Destiny and Destiny 2. It's taken Bungie a long time to really nail the MMO shooter, and now that Rise of Iron is out and everyone is calling it the greatest thing since sliced bread, it's time to look ahead to the next great step forward. What's in store for Destiny 2? A report recently came in from a user who claims to have close ties with Activision, claiming that they overheard someone saying that Destiny 2, when it launches next year, will also be released on PC, instead of being console exclusive the way it is today. Additionally, the report claims that the game will feel brand new, and that Bungie will be taking great steps to try to make Destiny 2 feel like an entirely new game. Another statement about the game said, "Over the past few months, I've also heard that Bungie's leadership wants Destiny 2 to feel like a proper sequel, even if that means leaving old planets, characters, and activities behind. In conversations with me, people connected to Bungie have made comparisons to Blizzard's Diablo II, which iterated on the first game in some incredible ways, but didn't carry over characters or content from Diablo. I don't know exactly how much will change in Destiny 2, but all signs point to the developers starting from scratch. Destiny 2 is a completely different game, said one person familiar with development. The Taken King was a reboot for Destiny 1 to fix small things. This is the overhaul to fix big things. Well, Battlefield 1 released their official single-player trailer a few days ago, and it looks awesome. While we've seen crazy amounts of gameplay plus a hands-on experience with the online part of Battlefield, this is one of our first real looks at the single-player side of things. The game is going to have the player control 4 different people throughout the campaign, each with their own playstyle. This should create a dynamic experience for the players to help keep people from every playstyle engaged in the storyline. It has also been stated that the campaign will feel much larger, not in terms of length, but rather map size. Previous Battlefield games had campaigns that were usually in tight spaces. Players would crawl and sneak, peeking around corners and trying not to be seen. Or you could go in guns blazing for a short while, but eventually end up back in a small alley. In Battlefield 1, the goal is to open up the world. They want to embrace the openness of their online multiplayer maps and blend it with the storyline. Now, when I said larger only applied to map size, I meant it. DICE has announced that the Battlefield 1 campaign will contain only 5 missions or war stories. Maybe the maps are bigger, but the campaign might be significantly shorter. Hopefully these 5 war stories are divided up a little bit. I know that throughout the campaign you'll be playing as several different characters, each at their own specialty, so maybe each story is divided up into 3 or 4 chapters. I truly don't know, but like every other fan, I'm hoping that they will be. LEGO Dimensions has stayed pretty current with its updates. Typically, it sticks to adding more game worlds and characters from other franchises. Now though, they've focused on something a little more original. Warner Bros. Games recently showed off a trailer featuring its new battle arenas. These arenas exist for a fully multiplayer experience. 4 players compete in varying game modes and maps to be the top LEGO. The game modes include Capture the Flag, Objective, Base Bash, and Tic Tag Boom. Each game and map comes with its own set of quirks in the form of traps, defensive structures, and unique powers. Depending on the game, there are options for free-for-all, 2v2, and 3v1 play. And if you can't find yourself any friends, there's a system of AI you can fight against. And yes, it seems you can pick pretty much any available LEGO figure you want. If you thought we were done with No Man's Sky just because the controversy surrounding it seems to have dipped off and people have moved on to find other things to be angry about, you are very, very wrong. You see, one of the major complaints of the game was how misleading it was in advertising. It offered spectacular space battles, endless unique planets to explore, a dozen different ways to play, and a shared universe where you could meet other people, which is perhaps the most outrageous lie, as Hello Games founder often would say that it was possible, although he would immediately add how unlikely such an event would be. Either way, lies were made, and so many people have complained about it that ASA, the UK's Advertising Standards Authority, has stepped in to investigate and perhaps even take legal action against Hello Games. The group, after receiving several complaints about the game's advertising, has started investigating the game's Steam page, where it now suffers from a mostly negative user review score, looking into claims the game has made that simply are not true in the final finished version, as well as unrepresentative videos and pictures that may be on the page. For a full list of everything they're trying to tag Hello Games with, check out the article on GamersUnite.com. Recently, a lot of people have been keeping a close watch on Dishonored II. It's exciting to see where the franchise is going. It has a ton of potential, and if the trailers are any sign, then it will likely live up to it. A few days ago, Bethesda showed off another video of gameplay. This time it shows Emily Caldwin as she makes her way through the mansion of an eccentric inventor. Of course, we're shown more impressive footage of the powers of the game, new and classic. However, we also see a lot of culture and rich story behind it as well. Dishonored has always had an undertone of steampunk, but this trailer brings it to a whole new level. The entire manor is connected to gears and shifts with the pull of a lever, plus there are fully automated combat robots. The day after the first gameplay video was released, a second one was posted up. This one shows more of the stealthy side of the game. The first takedown we see is impressive. Emily links 3 guards down with the domino ability, and then does a non-lethal aerial takedown. That's good to see, as non-lethal attacks did not have this kind of support in the first game. Aside from that, it's really interesting to see the differences in how the different playstyles change the mission entirely. Both videos are of the same mission, but by comparing the 2 videos, you can see the difference your approach can make. Well, Brazil's advisory rating board let one slip through the cracks this week. Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition will be released for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC sometime in 2017. Aside from that, all we really know is that the game will be rated M. The original Bulletstorm dropped in 2011, and I was a pretty big fan. It was a funny, gory bloodbath of a game, but I had a great time playing. Maybe that's just me, but I'm sure there are quite a few others out there that enjoyed the crude humor and unnecessary filth of the game. Around E3, photos were leaked of a Bulletstorm remaster. Nobody wanted to comment on anything though, as many people reached out to People Can Fly, the producer of Bulletstorm. I'm hoping that the game is better than the first one. I mean, they've had 5 years to work on it, and by the time it releases, it will be 6. It's been so long since the original release, I honestly forgot that Bulletstorm was actually a thing at one point. I used to play it all the time, but it had been wiped from my memory until I heard about this news. I don't expect to be disappointed though. They made the first one in a way that basically prevented disappointment. The trailer was pretty much saying, hey guys, don't buy this game if you want a really serious title. This game is going to be exactly what you see here, so if you don't like it, then don't get it. Hopefully the same playstyle will still apply for the release of the full clip edition. Today we're going to wrap things up with Battleborn. If you haven't heard of Battleborn, developed by Gearbox, I'll be a little surprised, but I won't blame you. Odds are you've probably heard the name at one point, and over time it's slowly faded from your memory. That's due to the fact that it's a failing first-person MOBA and lives in the shadow of Overwatch. A rumor surfaced recently about the game going free-to-play. As of right now, it's still a $60 game and the sales for it haven't been very good at all. Once this rumor hit the public, Randy Pitchford, the face of Gearbox, wanted to make sure he got his comments in. He felt the need to tweet out, I was just told about a reckless story about Battleborn going free-to-play that is false. There are no plans to convert Battleborn free-to-play. He then continued to respond to people on Twitter in a way that seemed like he was acting cool, but you could still tell he was pretty angry. Like maybe your parent was setting up to have their boss over for dinner, and just as the doorbell rings, you drop a plate. Now they're faced with this internal conflict because they want to be really angry and upset about the plate, but they also have to make sure they don't go insane and end up getting fired because of this. Yeah, that's basically what Randy was doing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more of these. Maybe even leave a comment down below if you want to share some of your own opinions on these stories. Until next time, this is AS Unreal, and we hope to see you soon.